Hey guys, we are at part 20 now. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, so where are we?
You'll soil your hands soon enough with mortal sin.
Mortal Sin. Oh, hello. Let's chill for a second. For fuck's sake. Aw. Ouch. Mm. Oh, I got the torch. Uh. Okay. Flame of the Red Mains. Good morning, Lysander. Oh, I forgot it. In the US, it's good morning, probably. Oh, poor fellas. How are you, Lysander? Oh, living with your brother and spending time at the beach. Oh, that's great. I mean, especially having a beach nearby. I don't have one. I'm doing fine. I'm just enjoying my free time, playing Elden Ring. And that's enough for me. Ouch. Bro. Are all Redman Knights fighting like this? I mean, you got a really interesting moveset with this bow, Ash of War, and even the Lion's Claw. I don't really remember much of the others. Oh. There's an item down there. Oh. Hmm. Explosive great bolts. Is it a heavy attack or a light attack that you need to get this plunge attack done? Do I have the note for that? Nope. Let's see. Oh, I got it. Whoops. Uh-oh. Eh? What's he doing? Okay. Ah, kind of interesting. I just realized that those fire giant wagons are always dropping 5 small room butterflies and 3 fire blossoms. Yeah, I know there's something in on the fire. I think it's the fire grant me strength incantation. No, 6 butterflies. But this is the fire gave me strength incantation. Flame grant me strength incantation. Okay. Flame grant me strength. What else do we have here? Corpses, 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 skulls. I wonder why they even use a different kind of corpse here. It's the line of this incantation that's so intriguing. It's telling of a flame that's not burning the caster. This incantation does not burn the caster, and so it is considered forbidden by the guardians of the flame. I don't get why it is forbidden. Forbidden by the guardians of the flame. Hmm. Fort Gale. I was wondering if there's something to the name Gale, though some people are saying that this might be a reference to Dark Souls character. Ouch. Is this Giant's Hunt they use? I think yesterday someone was pointing that out. Oh, oh. It looks like Giant Hunt. Star Scorch Heirloom. Sealing the very fate of the stars. Two warming stone. And this is the Qatar in here. What's quite interesting is that it's classified as a fist weapon, but it's actually a dagger. Yeah, it's even stated in the description. Imported dagger design with a rather unique handle. The blade can be swung about as the extension of one's fist. Uh-oh. Poke him in the butt. Oh, come on. Oh, here you get the Ash of War Lion's Claw. Nice knife, kitty. Wait, what did I hear? Skill of the red means to follow alongside General dance. Somersault forward, striking foes with armament. A rune arc. This will teleports me to Redman Castle. I don't want to go there. Not yet, at least. Have I not? Oh, I have. Oh, another corpse in a chair. So it's either looking at the runes. Yeah, probably at the ruins, I would say. Is there something? Smithing stone 4? Hey, Andrew. Yeah, this place is kind of weird because for some reason they are staring incredibly at this root and rod. Has it to do with the Michaelos lily? Why are they staring at the roots? It's probably more symbolic again, I would say. Oh no. Huh. It has blood effect on it. I don't know if we can conclude that it's connected with blood though. So there are two really interesting items over here that I think might be connected. At least that's the only way how I think it would make sense. It's yeah, I think it's the Ash of War with the beetle over there. And these guys over there. Or at least something that I think. Oh. Oh, now he's angry. Come here. Okay, wait. I was just wondering if this might be connected to the Ash of War over there, because it's no, it's not directly pointing in that direction though. It's just because in this treasure chest are two slumbering eggs. Very strange item. Moldy food, yeah. Probably stanky. I think this is the vampire fist Ash of War over there. Or lifesteal fist, I mean. Then the scarlet rot blooms.
Yes, right this way. Right this way. Welcome, valued customer. Come, trade in our wandering emporium. Please, buy something. I'm hungry. I've been hungry so long. Please?
Poison stone clump, poison stone, poison bone dart. Preserving Volluses, 3 of them. 5 Aeonian butterflies. Nothing really too special with this merchant here. Though the poison stones are kind of interesting. Especially the line, miners employ these stones as tools for pest extermination, but have long forgotten how to craft them. Feels so strange into what we... with everything else that we know, because it doesn't seem like there's a lot that this could be linked to. So once again, I think it's probably more symbolic or in form of a parallel or so. Maybe it's about poison as as a tool for healing in some way. Because there is something related to the perfumers, in which I think the healing, I mean the poison-related perfume, and I got a line in the description where it says something about an art of healing, or what is it called? It was used as something to heal in the past, or to for restoration or so. So what are these doing here? Yeah, mushroom people serving rot. That's nothing new. Just a lot of poison. I scalded rot Miranda flowers. That's weird. Are the trees growing on trees? I mean, look at this. Look at this one. So, we could have speculated that these are just old trees. They were already here, but are rottening. But it doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like these trees are originating from the rod, because if you look at those on the top of this one, they had to came after the scarlet rod bloomed. It all got the bloody this blood effect on them. Not this thing. Just strange that we have like even two sets of grays almost next to each other. Let me see it if only one last time. Resplendent blade density is the scarlet rod. Okay. Interesting enough, I think it could be related to Millicent that is invading here. Or to Melania, of course. Servants of Rod praying to an Aeonian butterfly. These are huge. Oh. Oh, come on, guys. It's so strange how they pray. What I was thinking about a few days ago was that the glaives are actually described as pearlescent, if I remember correctly. And I was wondering why. Okay, we're going to tree some of these pests. Praying. 3 rod grease. Maybe just hinting at the connection to a tree. That rot is yeah, causing trees to grow, or at least that a tree is growing out of rot in some way, maybe. What else do we have here? 5 dragonfly heads. Oh. Now I'm wondering if this is this. Where's this pointing towards to? Is this even pointing at something? That ammo looks cool. What ammo is it? Make safe here, by the way. It's the Vagabond set, actually. It's just the altered version. It looks more like a, yeah, like a Wanderer set or so, I would say. Or a little bit adventurous, in my opinion. You got some cool knives at the back. A water flask and some a pouch. Yeah, I thought the same. That's why I am rearing it. Although I have to say the cape of the Vagabond set is also pretty nice. Or poison bloom. Or poison bloom. Poison and luck. That's weird. 4 poison bloom. Hey Raven. Love armor that has gear on it like that. Yeah, I think so too. It's just always nice to have more detailed armor, I think. Ah, that corpse is so strange. Wait, is it linked to something above it, this place? Or poison bloom. I mean, what is there? There's nothing much, or is it? Probably pointing towards the minor earth tree. Please go for a roleplay, like a real adventurer out on a journey. Yeah. Exactly my thoughts. I think it's also in some way as the go-to class, or some kind of prototype class for this game, probably. I mean, it's also the first class in the menu. The Vagabonds class. I think there's a lot to it. To the Vagabond class and also to the set. Not only is the Vagabond class shown in the... I think it was the launch trailer. At least where he is waking up. And... yeah, it's also the first class that you can... that is appearing in the menu. I think there's some references hidden even in the ammo, and not only, I think it fits the best way to our adventure. These references, for example, the pattern on the Vagabond set is a bit resembling the pattern on Godfrey's armor. And I think it's supposed to be a little reference, a little hint that we are related to him. And then there's also the Knight set, which is the same armor, just in a better condition. And there's also something to the Knight armor set, in my opinion. Especially because it's used in almost all of those tooltips here. You look at the pictures, at the icons. Yeah, but that's another story. Hey, Kikoman, did you ever figure out that gold blood at the Chapel of Anticipation, grafted sign area. I was looking at this stuff that you call gold blood, but I don't know if it's supposed to be gold blood. Actually, I don't know. So this room is really nice and interesting because it contains a lot of those pest babies, or how you want to call them. The little crawling younger pests like these. It's one really great example of environmental storytelling, and it just let me survive this. Ah, fuck my life. Oh no. I was triggering them. I am so fucked. I didn't know that they... Do all the pests has this effect on them? I mean, isn't it the... it's the effect of the one talisman. Isn't it this one? Where is it? I don't have it yet. Okay, let me kill the baby. Wait a second. I wanted to... Let's just run... Wait a second. Now I'm intrigued. I just want to know if it's special to those in this room, or if these also have the effect that they got their attack power increased when you get poisoned. Let me check that. Oh, this dog is... Yeah, look at... But do I have, like... Oh, this one. Oh, it's interesting. They don't have the effect on them. Huh. Kindred of Rod's Exaltation. Yes, that's the talisman. Do the normal pests usually also have this kind of effect? Because it didn't work right now. I mean, where I was over there. But the pest babies. The Ash of War for them does have it. Oh, the Spirit Ash. Okay, so the Spirit Ashes of Kindred of Rod also have this kind of effect, okay? Or what do you mean? I should kill this guy. I'm killing pest babies. What I tried to say the last time was that you can even see those eggs. There are eggs inside of these tombs. And it even looks like that they were... I don't know if they are related to corpses, but it looks like that these grow on corpses and they are growing eggs and they are hatching out of those eggs growing on corpses, which is really weird. But it might fit the theme of rot and decay and rebirth. I mean, you know? I think it's just a really interesting detail because it's the only room with those, I think. And it looks like that the mushroom head over here was kind of, yeah, like caring for them probably, so they can hatch. And then we find the meteoric ore blade, okay. It's kind of an odd place for the meteoric ore blade, I would say. Katana forged from meteoric ore to dispatch life forms, born of falling storms. What does dispatch mean? And dispatch means to kill. Anti-Elden Beast, anti-Astels, yeah, maybe. Could life forms born of falling stars? Could this also mean like life forms created by falling stars? Or it is referring to falling stars? Maybe it's something that I have to look up. And how it's written in the Japanese version, maybe. The blade is weighty, known to deliver slashes of such ferocity that the impact is said to resemble the crash of a falling meteor. Huh. Skill originating from the Alabaster Lords who had skin of stone. Thrust the armor into the ground to create a gravity well. Puts enemies in. Life forms created by falling stars, right? Well, that's because if it's meant like this, is right. It's way more interesting. You know, if it's so anti everything that's maybe created by Astels or so. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. The theme of Onyx and Alabaster Lords is also interesting. I don't know. I read a comment where someone said that Onyx Lords and Alabaster Lords are actually fighting each other when you get them meeting each other. Okay, just to make a Lily. The jail cave over here is really interesting because not only is it one of the caves to which one of the spectral candle trees are leading to. I think it's the whole cave is some kind of microcosm parallel as well. Is there nothing? Nothing more here? Godwyn's blood in front of the chapel? Maybe. I mentioned it before, but the spectral candle trees out there are connected to these kind of chests. Because all of those spectral candle trees lead to places or caves with such a chest. And yeah, it's also the other way around. Those chests only appear in caves and locations where the spectral candle trees lead to. So we get, in total there are 7 spectral candle trees and 7 of those chests. But there's almost in no situation there's something interesting inside them. So in this case it's just a rune arc, for example. And I think it's probably just to code an area. And in this case, it's probably about Marika. So the chest with the rune arc is probably just here to some kind of anchor for the whole microcosm in this location. To code it with a strong Marika connection, I would say. Yeah, the Golden Rune 2 is also mentioning in Maiden. A rat and a maiden. It's really interesting how I think they are designing whole areas sometimes in a metaphorical way. it's really difficult to get used to this perspective that I described in my videos, but I think they are doing this a lot, and they are designing things in a metaphorical or symbolic way, and which are in not really meant literally. So this is this whole cave. The whole cave, I mean, is full of prisons or cages. I mean, filled with burned corpses or burning living corpses. And I'm firmly convinced that the whole cave is just metaphorically for America and the Earth Tree in some way, or the Elden Ring. From I don't care. It's and it's about burned people and their souls that are imprisoned and suppressed inside the Elden Ring, or the Earth Tree, or America. I think it's all about like people who got slaughtered or burned, and their souls who are in the end imprisoned and suppressed inside of the America, the Elden Ring, and the Earth Tree. And the symbolic meaning even goes further, because later on in this cave you will be able to pull a lever which is opening all the cages, all the prisons. And I think it's symbolically for the shattering. So the moment later on in this cave where you pull the lever and all of those cages start to open and the burned corpses are set free again, is like metaphorically the shattering. After that, the souls of those imprisoned in the Earth Tree are set free again and start to rise again, like the tarnished start to rise again. And I think this is what's like represented, or in a symbolic and metaphorical way in this cave. It goes even further. And even the smaller items seem to fit to this interpretation. So when I go through this cave, I imagine all of those burned living corpses like souls who got consumed and are imprisoned and suppressed. Servus Void. Okay, 2 items. Godwyn Run 4 is saying something like, do you see the Earth Tree towering over there? And 2 turtleneck meat. 2 turtleneck meat. And this is another one of those runes saying, do you see the earth tree towering over there? This is a Summoth Missing Stone 5. I have a question. Since you take the Shadowlands rather as America's dream world, my question is, how do you explain that Bale 4 Placido strikes and even 2 of the 3 missing heads are on his back? I see it just more symbolic. So, in my interpretation as the DLC of as America's dream world, which is mirroring past events of the Lands Between, there has been probably some kind of red dragon fighting Placido Sucks, but it was not literally Bale, in my opinion. I think Bale just paralleling another character from the base game, from the Lands Between. And what's interesting is we already had a red dragon depicted in the base game. And there's some kind of red dragon depicted on the Dragon Tower shield. And it's even found in Farum Azula. And I am very convinced that this red dragon was probably Radagon. And Radagon is in the end, in my opinion, nothing else just but red dragon in short. So I think it's probably a name creation from George R. R. Martin, where he's using, where he's just taking words and shortening them in a way. He did that with Hodor in Game of Thrones, where he just took the words, hold the door, and yeah, in connection to the story of this character, he was ending up only saying Hodor, and this became his name. You know, like, but in this process, he took the words "hold the door," and was shortening them to Hodor, and this became the name of this character. And then when it comes to Radagon, I think Radagon was probably a red dragon, losing himself to the arousal of battle, and losing his name in madness, which is also a theme present in the DLC. And Radagon, I mean the red dragon, was in the end just Radagon, like short mumbled version of red dragon. Oh, okay. Oh, the show did this with Horror. I didn't know that. No, I'm still convinced though. Even if it might be that. Yeah. Was it the show? Ah, it would have been such a good argument. I thought it would be George R. R. Martin. That's kind of sad. I'm still convinced though that Radagon is just a shortened form of Red Dragon. I mean, maybe George R. R. Martin were inspired by this name convention as well. I mean, he was part of this. He was involved in the production, wasn't he? Okay, we are pulling the lever, and the cages are opening, and all those burning corpses are set free again. I think this is paralleling the events of the Shattering, where the Tarnished start to rise again. What are we doing now? Why don't you wear the dry leaf outfit? I was wearing it for the first few videos, but in a connection with the We Are Godwyn theory and with the Godwyn build that I have in mind, I'm leaning towards the Vagabond set because I think it's the somewhat the canon armor, if you want to say so. I just think that the Vagabond set contains some references to us being Godwyn. That's why I'm leaning towards the Vagabond class and the armor set. If you look closely, and there's just a lot to the Vagabond class and the Vagabond set. The pattern on the front is resembling the pattern of Godfrey's armor, for example. And we even start with a halberd, which is compared to an axe, which is also kind of funny because not only do you have the pattern on the front, which is resembling the pattern of Godfrey's armor, but also something that's similar, at least, to an axe that Godfrey is using. And there's some other stuff going on. Probably the color turquoise. Then you have the knight set as well. That is all over the place here. The tooltips. And I think the Vagabond set and the Knight set were even referenced in Night Rain, or at least there's some interesting hint, I think, because the earrings of Wilder and Duchess share the same hue of the Knight set, which is, I think, nowhere else in the entire game. It's a really special color. It's a special kind of turquoise or blue. And the earrings are designed in the same color. 5 old fangs. Pillory shield. Yeah, the dry leaf theme is really nice. Since Marika removed us death from the Elden Ring, does that mean that nobody ever died in the lands between? If so, then why are there tombs and graveyards and spirit ashes? So, you know, there's one. I think it's. I have to say, I'm a little bit wondering where this statement is based on. It's a quite accepted idea in the community, but it's nowhere mentioned in the game. Nowhere in the game does it say that the removal of destined death from the Elden Ring is the reason why people are not able to die. I think it was some part of an interview with Miyazaki where something similar were mentioned by him. But I think the reason why the beings in the lands between can't die is something different, actually. Because I think the souls of most of the beings in the lands between are bound to the Earth Tree and the Elden Beast. And as long as the Elden Beast and the Earth Tree still live, so do these spirits and the beings in the lands between. And it's even hinted at by a spirit in front of the Urge Tree right before you enter the Urge Tree. In the Ashen Capital of Lanedale Ashen Capital, I mean, there's a spirit saying something like, "Oh, the Urge Tree is burning, but we are still golden ones." So I think it's about the spirits still being somewhat alive or there because they are bound to the Urge Tree and the Elden Beast. It works a little bit like a phylactery in fantasy, in other fantasy universes. I think the whole concept of a phylactery or phylacterium, I don't know what it's called, is used a lot in this game. It's the same concept how the Primal Glintstone works, for example. And I think in regard to the Urge Tree and the Elden Beast, it's just, the same concept, just in a bigger way. But the thing is, when it comes to interviews, I'm a bit skeptical. And even if Miyazaki is saying something in interviews, I take these things with a grain of salt, because I don't know if we can trust every word Miyazaki says in his interviews, especially if you think if the Elden Ring lore is supposed to be a mystery, Miyazaki won't give us the answers straight up. And I think we should just work with what we are given in the game. For fuck's sake. I say, let us work with what we have inside of the game. And nothing in the game is actually hinting at something, at this, that it has to do with the removal of death and death. I mean, we could speculate about it, but there's nothing really hinting at that. Or could you name something? I mean, there's some stuff is implicated by the, maybe through the connection between death and death and the ability to kill a demigod. That's something, maybe. Thanks, Kikuman. Godwyn Run 2. You know, it's kind of interesting just that there are so many Godwyn Run 2s in here, although this is in Caelid, and you usually would think there should be higher runes of a higher level. I think it's because it's about a maiden. These runes number 2, level 2, are mentioning a maiden. I think it's about America. So... Wait. Pillory made to punish serious felons, used as a shield. Though made of good, sturdy wood, it is only a makeshift tool and performs as such. Perhaps due to its use as a device with which the guilty were made to endure prolonged suffering, it raises vitality. Yeah, this one still riddles me as well. It's an interesting theme to make someone else live longer, or even to punish him, you know, or to maybe to do both at the same time. in a way. I think maybe it has to do with the theme of... I think to get your soul grafted or bound to someone else is a worse destiny or fate than to just die, you know? Uh-oh. It's like it's talking about Marika or Midra, but it seems to imply the imprisoned is stronger for... Which doesn't match up. Build character by suffering plus vitality. Yeah, this one was also interesting. I said that I think that this whole cave is like the Urge Tree and the captured and bound and burned and imprisoned souls in these cages, metaphorically. What's really interesting, I realized that only like a few months ago, is, I think it's this one. No, it's not the Stone Sword Key, it's the Wakizashi. Because, you know, From Software is really, they are using their knowledge about weapons, and most of them are real-life weapons. And the Wakizashi is traditionally used for. I'm no expert in this, with this, but I think the Wakizashi is traditionally used for samurai or so to for this kind of suicide. I don't know if it's the seppuku, but the Wakizashi is traditionally used for the for killing yourself. So if this whole cave is metaphorically representing the Earth Tree and the captured souls, and pulling the lever is the shattering, and which sets free the souls again. The Wakizashi kind of fits because it was, yeah, in some way it was Radagon who killed himself, you know? Or it was, in my opinion, it was Marika's soul taking over Radagon's body, killing himself. And therefore the Wakizashi fits really well in this cave, if you interpret everything in this way, at least. Yeah, another... Do you see the Earth Tree towering over there? Rune. Oh, the Stone Sword Key is still something that I am struggling with. They could use it as a weapon as a last resort if needed, however. Maybe I have to read more about it. Maybe I stopped too early. These are also interesting. I think one of those was a rainbow stone. Yeah, rainbow stone. I was speculating if the rainbow stones are metaphorically or symbolizing souls. Yeah, that's another Deuce the Erdtree towering over there rune. There are so many runes number 4 in here. So rainbow stones, I think these are symbolic for souls, and this rune was once again hinting at the Erdtree. So it's again about souls inside the Erdtree probably. And the next one is interesting because now we are somewhat out of the cave. And what we find here is there are dead vulgar militia on the ground. And a frenzied duelist. Get a special name. The name is unique. It's a frenzied duelist. There's no one else called like that. And I think it's referring to Godfrey, actually. So, they are the captured souls in the cave. And, yeah, Godfrey, the one who survived the massacre of the Tarnished, is kind of mad. And I think this one over here is, like, a little reference to him, which was still fighting. And it's also the gladiator that he's not using madness or frenzy flame now. I think it's just a reference to the frenzied Godfrey after the banishment and the slaughter of the Tarnished, which were represented in the cave and the burned souls. You know? So, Godfrey as the sole survivor in Weeping Peninsula in Castle Morn is kind of mad at Radagon, I would say. And this is a reference to him. But what's also interesting is the item that he's carrying with him. And it fits that he's using an axe, too. Because what he's carrying with him is the putrid corpse ashes. It's the putrid corpse ashes that I think is related to Godwyn. The putrid corpse ashes are those who are saying something about those who don't die a true death. So that's why I connected these to Godwyn in my theory. And these are the only ones too mentioning not dying a true death in some way. These spirits appear some distance from the summoner. Though their movements are dull and confused, their low moans make them effective at drawing the attention of enemies. True death does not come easily for them. And it's 4 of them. Also kind of sounds like the Tarnished Large. Maybe. It could also be. In some way, maybe. And it's really weird. The scenery even fits with the Third Church of America. The Church of... In the Third Church of America, it's about the Tarnished being banished as well. And you also have pink flowers at the Third Church of America. And the number 3 is a bad omen as well. Pink flowers over here, pink flowers over there. Yeah, but this intrigued me because it's just a glow. I think it's just glowstones, two or so. They have 3 glowstones. Oh, that's weird. What do you think about the sword regalia? So, I was looking up the term regalia, and in the way how I understood what a regalia actually is, it's like the right to be queen or king or something like this. I don't know how to describe it in English, but regalia is usually something that the ruler is having, from what I've understood. And it's from Equite, or Eokite. I don't know how to pronounce it. Royalty, yeah. In some way, it's a sign of royalty. And yeah, it's it's also mentioned Eokite, and the only other stuff mentioning Eokite, or how it's pronounced, royal privilege. Yeah, I think if I have understood it correctly, regalia is something that is a sign for royal privilege. So the only other weapon mentioning Eokite, oh, for fuck's sake, I don't know how to pronounce it, is Alamar. What's he called, Alamar? The one in the shaded castle. And so I think that Alamar is actually Eradigan parallel. Yeah, it's just we have got gravestones, something related to Eokite and royal privilege. So I think it's about. I'm firmly convinced that it's about the death of America, of the real America, of Renna, how I call how, and yeah. And Eokite, or what it's pronounced, is actually meaning horse riders. I think this is all a reference to events in the very distant past, and I think Limgrave in the very, very distant past was the Badlands, and the people living here were probably horse riders as well. And yeah, Iokite, Iokite. The Mare Greatsword, yeah. Gaelic is weird. The language, yeah. I think the whole story begins in Limgrave, which is, in my opinion, the Badlands in the very distant past. And I think that's the reason why Limgrave feels so, well, so detailed, because I think Limgrave is the most important region, probably, where this whole story started and a lot of stuff ended. And I mean, you have to think about that. Miyazaki and his team, they even traveled to Scotland and Britain just to get in inspiration for the lands between. I think the whole theme of horse riders, yeah, like I said, Aokite is just means horse rider. I think it's the vast grassland which Limgrave used to be, is the Badlands, with a folk of horse riders and yeah. Oh Jesus. What? There should be sites of grace somewhere nearby.
Buying or selling?
Bro. the Great Helm is weird. I think there's one NPC that is weird, I think. Oh no, come on. Yeah. I think Recusant Henricus is rearing the Great Helm. The Recusant that appears... Oh, Poison Moth Flight. Yeah, the Recusant Henricus and at in front of the Colosseum in Limgrave is rearing the Great Helm. Like the Rohirrim in Lord of the Rings. Yeah! That's also a great comparison. The name is so strange as well. Poison Moth Flight. We don't have a moth theme going on here. Though... It might be... I don't know. Maybe it can be connected to Mikola or Centrina, I mean. I don't know. It's such a strange name. But if I remember correctly, there was cut content and they might have planned something going on with the moth at Stormvale. But that's not much. But there might have been something that they planned. I don't know. But nonetheless, they could have named it differently. Poison Moth Flight. Yeah, but yeah, it's still interesting that they... So from the perspective of from Software, it seems like they are linking poison to moth. We got the same theme going on in Night Rain, where we also have a moth connected to poison. So, I mean, at least there are some thematic connections that are recognizable.
Not finished yet.
Rodbone arrows, flaming bolts. Hey, Galen. Used by survivors of Rodan's army to stave off the Scarlet Rot. Made from iron, though it is uncomfortably heavy and obstructs the vision of the wearer. Those who know poison knows rot all too well. Yeah, poison and rot go they go hand in hand. The servants of rot, those mushroom heads, for example, they use poison spells, and even the poison spells or incantations have the rot sigil when they are used. So I think we can definitely say that poison and rot go hand in hand, and you even see it with yeah, there's some more situations where it becomes recognizable, I think. I mean, the mushroom heads using poison incantations are allied with the kindred of rot, for example. Okay, let's do this. Let's go. Oh, I'm too small. For fuck's sake. Shit. He's bigger than the other ones. Definitely. Oh no. No. Okay. Magic users laughing their asses off right now. Yeah, I think so. Probably. Ah. Got him. I'm making not a lot of damage. Oh shit, 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 oh shit. No. Oh, it took so much damage. And that's the only attack that I have to care for, to watch out for, I mean. Let's go with another try. I will make use of the fire race now. I mean, what else do I have it? Oh no. This is such... This is so dumb. Wow, what? Okay. Okay. Okay, please stop using Scarlet Rod. No. Oh my god. Maybe I should use Giant's Hand for this. Oh. Oh shit. Oh shit. No, not again, not again! Why isn't he? Gets, yeah, no. I mean, the lion's claw seems not too bad to reach his head. Torrent, run! Oh, it's so annoying. He's just too high up in the air. I hope he's not doing his AOE. It's a tough fight, actually. It's one of the fights that I really struggle with sometimes. No! Why doesn't... Okay, let's go, Torrent. Let's go. That took me some time. But the Golden Order couldn't heal Melania. Yeah. I think this is one of those cases that you don't think about, shouldn't think about too much. Oh, shit. I think it was Gauri who also said that the demigods in general were affected by. Oh wait, what was it? Just nah, never mind. The strongest dragon is the unhealthiest one, standard from software. Ancient Dragon Apostles Cookbook 3? Ancient Dragon Apostles Cookbook. Dragonbone Grease. Isn't it interesting that the Dragon Cult incantation is actually here with the inside of the Dragon Communion Cathedral? I mean, I still believe that Godwyn obtained his powers through Dragon Communion. So it kind of fits this way. Finally, we get the map, at least. Burrows. Ouch. Yeah, I don't know if there's something to the beheaded statues. Could be. I was farming these dudes once for their armor set because they have the altered version of the Vanished Knight's helmet, and you can't alter them on your own, so you have to farm it. It's a pretty cool set in my opinion. One thing that always made me wonder is the description of what was he called? Exicus. I don't know how to pronounce it. Exicus Decay, because he's called Dragon Communion Revenger. And so, you know, I'm always looking out watching out for double meanings or ambiguous meanings. And when it comes to him here, like Exarch's Dragon Communion Revenger, I was just wondering if it could be interpreted some different ways. So I think most people would think it's a dragon taking revenge at the Dragon Communion. But if you read it in this description, couldn't it also... I mean, it sounds like he's revenging for the Dragon Communion. Or am I just... Or what do you guys think? I mean, I'm just wondering about the possibility, you know? Did not forget his hatred, even as he succumbed to Scarlet Rot. I mean, what if... Just a question and brainstorming, but what if some banished knights actually turned into wyvern? I mean, it's a big stretch, and I'm reaching here, but it's just what if? Because did you know that some banished knights are even classified as dragons when it comes to the type of creature? So there are some banished knights who are classified as dragons, and for example, weapons coated with dragonborn grease do more damage at those banished knights because they are classified as dragons. And it kind of makes sense because some of them are using Dragon Communion incantations and powers of dragon. Do you know this guy? It's one of the rarer ones. Ah, shit. Has it never been done before besides Godwyn? Don't they usually end up as magma worms? I mean, that's... Yeah, probably, but I think we can speculate about it. Now, these fallen ruins are pretty rare in Caelid. Aren't they? I just realized that because I don't think they are anywhere else in Caelid. Maybe they are heavily tied to Farmazula. It's so when it comes to Exike or Exike or how the dragon is called, and him described as Dragon Communion Revenger. What I'm thinking here is, okay, maybe there's some kind of double meaning behind it, and they were so maybe his hatred is aimed towards Farmazula and the ancient dragons, maybe. So like maybe it's a similar theme that we have with Bale, you know? Maybe it's just a reoccurring pattern and theme. Because I think Dragon Communion is probably linked to Farmazula and the ancient dragons. So what if the ancient maybe maybe Dragon Communion was fighting against the ancient dragons, maybe? Just maybe. Yeah, from what the priestess says. Yeah. It's just that I'm... You know, everything in the DLC is... I'm questioning everything that is in the DLC. At some point I realized, at least for myself, that it's easier to look at the base game alone. Because a lot of stuff that appears in the DLC seems to make everything more confusing. So, and everything led me to the idea that the DLC is probably meant more symbolic and yeah, maybe shouldn't be taking that literally. So although I try to look at these things literally, sometimes I just take the information of the DLC with a grain of salt, and I'm a little bit skeptical sometimes and question these things mentioned in the DLC. They're so cute. Worshipping crystals. Oh, hello there. I think it's unlikely that the DLC is a giant red herring as a false reality. Yeah, I know. There aren't many that would follow my assumption that it's some kind of dream world. A lot of people wouldn't agree with me on that, but yeah. I mean, these things are open up to interpretation. Yeah, that's what I have in mind, Sneaky Turtle, yeah. I think almost nothing in the DLC is real. And it's still the base game where the story revolves around. I'm not saying that there's nothing lore relevant in the DLC. It's just that it's it's just that I see it from a different perspective. For example, when it comes to Mesmer, I think it's actually about Radagon. When it's about Relana, for example, I think it's about Renna and the real America. When it is about the divine beast dancing lions, I think it's about the golden lineage. Yeah. When it's about Bale, I think it's also about Radagon and the Elden Ring. I'm not saying there's no information in it. I think there's a lot of information in it, and I think there's yeah, a lot of stuff that is complementing the base game, and it helped me a lot in some way. But it's just that yeah, from my perspective, these things happened exactly how they are described there, and yeah, once again, I see these things more in a symbolic way. He has no signs of grace. So, when it comes to parallels, these two, once again, are a Greater Will, Elden Beast, Elden Ring parallel over there. That's Gauri, a divine being. And here we have his Leal Hound, aka Radagon. Greater Will, Elden Ring, Leal Hound, Elden Ring, Leal Hound, Radagon. I mean, Andrew, as I said, it's not that I'm saying that the DLC doesn't contain important information. I think it does. It's just that I think it's in a different format, or I think it's all about the concept of parallels. So I think they are designing almost everything in form of parallels or in content that is inspired by the main story, and all of the content ends up containing like a surface level meaning, which can be taken literally, and where you can see the lore of characters as their own lore. But I think primarily the content was most of the time designed in form of parallels, which means behind the surface level where you take these things literally, there is some kind of level where you can interpret these things as parallels, which are in the end then allusions and references to the main characters of the base game. Oh. Yeah, that might be. That, I mean, yeah, there is probably information that might not be in the base game, though I think I have to say there might be crucial information in the DLC, but I think most of the information were at least hinted at in the base game, but incredibly vague. Maybe with an extremely small hint, and they were fleshing this part of the story, of the main story, out in the DLC. Yeah, it will take me a lot of work, of course, yeah. The Divine Gate? I mean, it's symbolic, it's in my opinion. I was discussing this in the last stream, for example. The scene of the story trailer, of the Shadow of the Earth Tree story trailer is I mean, it's Marika walking over corpses. You got a lot of blood there, and yeah, dead people, and so I think it's not. I just think it's more symbolic. Where you have, for one, I think it's Radagon posing as Marika in the Shadow of the Earth Tree trailer. Walking over corpses is a reference to him, or the dead corpses, and the pile of corpses is a reference to the slaughtered Tarnished. The strings are symbolic for him binding the souls and gathering the souls of the dead, and from which he gained a huge amount of grace, which ended up in the Earth Tree, and in which way he tried to achieve godhood. So that's what I think is the story trailer referencing. The seduction and betrayal is the seduction and betrayal of Godfrey and the Tarnished. And I even have an interpretation for the thing that we see before that in the Shadow of the Earth Tree trailer, but so in the end, it's in my opinion, once again, about the main story of the base game. It's Radagon posing as Marika, seducting and betraying the Godfrey and the Tarnished, slaughtering almost all of them, binding their souls, gathering the grace of them, which ended up in the Earth Tree and in Radagon, in which way he tried to achieve godhood. And the moment where Marika was... one of the reasons why Marika tried to stop Radagon. He was not a god yet, but almost. But that's my interpretation. You know? I mean, everyone can interpret these things as they want, of course. It's just how I see these things. But Galen, which lot you was are reasoning in a similar manner? That sounds interesting. And what about exactly? I don't think that Radagon is a Centrina split. In the parallel, I think it is the real Marika that were split apart, like Centrina. Bro, I got the fucking torch. Are the birds not affected by the torch? Guys! Ah, Jesus. Ah, now I yapped so much. I mean, I'm talking a lot about these things, and I promise that it will take me some time, but I promise that I will make videos about these things at some point. And then you can decide again if you follow these thoughts or not, but I'm just promising that I will try to structure my the information from my perspective in a good way, so you can decide for yourself once again. Oh. I think in the DLC they were trying to flesh out the story of Radagon's past, actually. That's what I think that they did with the DLC. But once again in form of parallels. I think the base game is a lot about the Night of the Black Knives and the Shattering, and but they had not much referring to the very distant past, about Farmer Zula, for example. A chair. And the second one is here. Oh. This is the second chair. It's a two-chair room. Kindred of wrought ashes. And we got Miranda's wrought ashes as well here. Spirits of sweet little Miranda flowers, carnivorous blossoms that feed upon human flesh. They creep slowly, scattering toxic pollen. Vulnerable to fire, to take care of the little darlings. Its chitinous body making a dry rustling sound, attacks enemies by secreting sticky threads. The kindred of wrought are the servants of the goddess of wrought, servants that have been forsaken. From perfumer's perspective, might be. on, this chair is so conspicuous placed. Don't you think? Isn't a place so fucking suspicious? Suspicious? Suspicious or suspicious? Suspicious. The two chair rooms are not directly linked to Godwyn and Rodigan. Holy fucking hell. Wait, did I miss a beetle? Was there a beetle over there? No. Okay, 3 smoldering butterflies. Anything else? Mushroom. 6 times. Getting sandwiched. Arrow Sting Talisman. Crackblade. The Star-Scourged conflict, Rodan alone holds Zalia secure and stands tall to shatter the stars. Hmm. Oh. Yeah, the connection between beast blood and gold is weird. I can't make sense of it for now. Guys, I think I'm done for today. Enough already for today. Just came back with unalloyed gold. There's so much to think about in this game. Yeah, I enjoy the chat as well every time, to be honest. Always happy to see you guys coming by, and yeah, it's just really nice to have some people to chat with while running through the lands between once again. And it makes it more enjoyable to go through all these items again as another as some kind of lore research. So many interesting concepts to think about. Yeah, maybe we continue next time, guys. But until then, I have to say goodbye. Wish you all the best, guys. Good evening. Sleep well. Stay hydrated. Eat healthy. And so on. Bye bye.